So I created this, the original of this piece was made on 15 dancers. It was the first time I worked with so many dancers. It was an amazing experience, and it was a 6-minute piece. We shrunk the piece to 7 dancers, and the piece now is 30 minutes long. I think some of the essences that were found in the original version were kept. Because something really beautiful happened in those 6 minutes. So what we did was kind of like stretched it and created more stories for everything that was in those 6 minutes. In terms of obviously what has changed, like we've worked with an amazing costume designer, Polina Boltova. She has designed the costumes for this piece, which have created part of that parallel universe, working with Hugo, so introducing all of the kind of more theatrical elements of the piece. The title of the piece is called 0110 in Spanish, and it's like 0110. There's a lot of binaries in this number, obviously digital technological binaries, but also binaries in terms of our society, how we perceive ourselves within our society, how we perceive each other within our society. So a lot of the things that interest me as a choreographer are maybe more philosophical notions of social workings and individual workings of the self. So this particular piece was kind of a deconstruction or a study of these binaries that exist within our society and within ourselves. Before we start a work, there's a lot of research, mostly philosophical, sociological, that happens before we actually create movement or create anything creative, and just to understand the piece from my point of view and from the dancers. So for me, it's really important to have the dancer's opinion about the subject. So once we sit down, I usually give them all these things to read, we understand, we talk about these things, we question them, and then from there we start from different improvisational tasks to create material, and the material undergoes a lot of transformation. So we'll create almost, like, I would say, more than 30 minutes of material, and then it undergoes a lot of transformation, and I would say there's probably about 3 layers of transformation before the final material is done, and then we start to put it together into a piece. It's crazy. You think 2 weeks is a lot of time, and then you're like, oh my God, it's not. But I think there's definitely one thing that was so precious about being able to have a technical residency and come back to this piece is to allow the piece to grow, or to take new form along with all of these choices of space and scenography. And so I think that's been really interesting, is to see, you know, once everything, when the lights and the sand and all these elements come together, you rethink the choreography. And so I wish we had had a little bit more time, but to allow the choreography also to be shaped by the environment has been something that has been really interesting in terms of working. Originally we had talked about, using sand in different ways, smaller. One hesitation we had is that it's very obvious, it looks like a beach, so how do we navigate this, But I think for the sake of being here for these 2 weeks, we're working with it, we're going to keep it for the showing, we're going to record it like that, just to have the opportunity to work with this type of environment that is not common.